Hi everyone, it's Gayle and it's Mixed Media Monday. So we are gonna play with some of the things I have here. We're gonna create some journal covers. First, I want to say hi and hugs to Susan, Rachel, Peggy, and Donna. Thank you so much for watching and your kind comments. Okay, let's see here. Let's get busy here. This we are going to do some faux leather here, and I did a video when I very first started doing videos long ago, and I wanted to revisit it. I had a couple of requests. So one thing I forgot is my Mod Podge. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I love my new craft room. Everything's pretty much right at hand. Okay, so this is just some packing paper. You can use the painter's masking paper if you want, whatever. I use a 9x12 envelope for my base. So I'm just going to put down the flap there. And then we are going to put this, we're going to put Mod Podge on the envelope and cover it with this. Then what we'll do, we'll cut the corners, and then we will fold these up. And then on the insides of these kind of covers, I like to do then a digital. You could use scrapbook paper too. On the inside, you know, something that goes with the journal that I'm making. But you can make these ahead, and that just saves you some time. So let's get started. I have all kinds of different things. First of all, there's this, the painter's masking tape, or paper, I mean, as I said. I have this that something was wrapped in. I have this, which is a paper bag that I've cut open. I think this might be painter's masking paper, but I like the red color. And then I have some tissue paper too. So there's all kinds of things you can do. And I am just gonna mass make some here. But we'll do the technique right here so that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to pour a bit of that out. And I'm using a big brush because there's a lot of area to cover. And as you can see, I'm not being careful. I'm just getting the Mod Podge to cover the whole thing. I love having these on hand because then as the focal point, you can do whatever, you know, you can use some fun little things from whatever kit or however you want to do it. Okay, so before I squish that down, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some good creases in it. And just smoosh it around a bit. It's not going to work on the drop paper, just on the envelope. So yeah, just going to make it kind of leather looking a little bit. Just make some creases because that just really adds to the, just adds to it. Okay, so there's that. Now, flip it around. And I'm going to just take my scissors and cut the corners here. And really, I'm being generous with the overhang. You probably don't need that much. What you just need to have enough that if you put like if you're going to do a digital 8.5 by 11, that it will cover. So, but, you know, And oftentimes I put the Tim Holtz corners on these kind of covers too. Okay, so I just have all that. That's those corners that we do not need. Okay, so now let's get a little Mod Podge and go here. I've gotten, last time I used Mod Podge, I got the question, can you use PVA glue? It was when I did the fabric paper covers, and they said, can you use PVA glue? I don't know about PVA glue because I've never used it. So I'm not a very good one to ask for that. Oof, that was almost a disaster. Did you see those lightning quick reflexes? Yikes. Don't need that to hit the floor. Since there's carpeting in my craft room, that could be ugly. It could be ugly. So I'm squishing this too to have that squishy leather look. It doesn't need to be squished up there, but okay. There is that. So anyway, I don't know the difference between Mod Podge and PVA. All that to say. Just don't know what it is. So I hope you're all having a good day. I just got home from the doctor. Just my yearly Medicare checkup. Feels like in that checkup, they're mostly worried if you're depressed. I said, I'm the opposite of depressed, if there's an opposite. Life is good. I'm having fun in my craft room. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, and then okay. So, I think we've got that pretty good. Just a few wrinkles here and there on this side is good. Get everything squished down well. Okay. So then I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put some Mod Podge on this side. And I'm not worrying about covering the whole thing, just the first couple inches or inch and a half or so, because the other's going to be covered up with by whatever we put in the middle here, whatever it happens to be. Yeah, I thought it'd be great to have some of these made up for the who knows what comes next after the Christmas that we're doing. And so we're going to let this dry, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. I have got to remember to get my my power strip down here so I can use my heat gun. I keep forgetting to do that. I took them out when I rearranged my craft room, and I put them where we keep them in the laundry room, and not thinking I need one. I need one right down here. So that's all right. We'll just do a variety and let them dry. Now there's one more step. There's one more step here, and we'll do that once this dries. I'm gonna set that right there. But the last step, let's just talk through it, is I've got this antiquing medium from Folk Art. This one, what's the color? Does it say? Apple butter brown. This one I really like. This is espresso, and I have also a cocoa bean. So I haven't used these two because I've just been using this one, but this one's almost out. And then another thing I grabbed, this is Stamperia chestnut, and it seems to be really runny. So I think it might do the same thing as that antiquing medium. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Okay, so then let's do maybe one of these tissue papers. So, oh, and I was going to tell you, I cut these. This is a 9x12 envelope. I cut these about 14, 15 by about 13 or so, just to have a little extra. So see how there's quite a bit extra actually, because this is that's only 9. So at 13, there's, like 4 inches extra. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's do it. So I know you've already, I mentioned it in my Etsy share. If you guys happen to see my Etsy share from let's see here. When is this airing? Not from yesterday, but the one before, that my granddaughter, her volleyball team got 4th in the state at the state tournament. But you guys, it was so much fun. Because my oldest daughter, or not my oldest daughter, but the oldest of the 2 that live in Denver came, and so she flew in for it. She gets Best Auntie Ever award for that. But yeah, so she came, and it was just so fun. There's just nothing better than having your grown kids together, reminiscing and giggling about oopsie. Well, we'll fix that. The dumb things mom and dad did and whatever. So, okay, I ripped that a little. So when we cut this, I'm just going to patch it a little bit, I think is what I'm going to do. No biggie. No stress in our little mixed media world, because it all just turns out in the end. Yeah, so anyways, we came back from that. We've been watching on the NFHS network because, Mike's doing the stats for the journal that I made Addie for her season. So yeah, I told him no pressure, but you got to get it done before Thanksgiving when we see him so that we can give it to her. He's like, okay. Okay, so that's mostly the brown. So I'm just gonna tear a little piece of this brown. I'd rather have a torn edge on it. Okay, let's see. We can't just repair that a little bit. Yeah, that's gonna work, but I don't need that much. There. See, it's all good. Okay, so I think I might go ahead and put the Mod Podge on this side of this one, and we'll do the other side later. And so on any of these wrinkles, if they're not kind of down flat, then I do flatten them a little bit with the Mod Podge on top, just to make sure they stay down and stuff. And then when we put the antiquing medium on them, it'll kind of collect in the cracks and stuff. So that works out really good. And looks like leather because it's got the darker bits where the wrinkles are. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'll set this over to dry too. And let's do this one. I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. This is a bit heavier than the masking paper I have. Where's my masking paper? I don't know where it's living. I don't know where it's living, so never mind. But anyway, this feels a bit thicker. Yeah, since I move stuff, there's a few times I go, I'm sure I put that in a really good spot. I wonder where it is. Oh, but okay, so right here is what we'll do. So let's get Mod Podge on this side. Yeah, this is basically me doing a lot of Mod Podging, but like I say, I did have a request to show doing the faux leather. And so that's what we're going to do. It might have been good to do one ahead so it was dry, but you know, didn't think of it. Came home from the doctor and like ran down here and was like, okay, time to play with some covers. Oops. Well, that ought to be enough. Generous I am with the Mod Podge. But if you're generous with the Mod Podge, it makes it easier to squish the paper. That's what I've found. So pop that there. Okay, and let's squish it. Yeah, this is a little thick. This is not going to squish very easily. Ew, it doesn't want to squish much. Oh well, that's going to be, the front's pretty squished, the back not so much. So, okay. Well, this one, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And I'll show you. On the other side, we might just, on this one, I might put the antique medium on before the Mod Podge. You can do it either way. It just is a different look. So you can put it on before you Mod Podge over the top or afterward. These would be good little collage things. Keep those. Okay. So we'll do this one right now, and then you can kind of see. I got to show you this, though, before we start that. See how this is collecting in the creases, the Mod Podge, those white bits? I don't want those. I want to kind of go over and pull those off as much as I can. I don't want it to look pasty. So we'll do that, and then we'll do the other. There we go. Okay. That makes me happier. Okay, so this one we're going to do dry, and then we'll go over and do that other one, which is all Mod Podgy. Okay, so what I do is take a baby wipe so that it's just a little bit damp, and let me set my brush over here. let's use this one that's just about gone. See how it is. I'm just going to put some, maybe, if it's still, okay. Yeah, well, so much for not getting all goobery. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little bit on my baby wipe and run it across the top. And what it should do is collect in those creases a little bit. And it soaks right in when you don't have the Mod Podge. But when you have the Mod Podge, it glides on a little bit better, I guess I would say. Now, I will put Mod Podge on this afterwards because, and the reason is the Mod Podge makes it stronger, you know, and nothing's going to happen to that cover along the way. So I hope it's looking a little bit like leather on the camera. It is in real life. Okay, a little bit more of my goop. And you can kind of use your fingers and work it down into the cracks a little bit. I don't mind that it's a little lighter in spots too, because it just gives it more dimension. Definitely doesn't need to be perfect. Make sure I got the edges really good for when we fold it over. Okay, so can you see how that looks a little bit leathery? Okay, let's go ahead and let that dry. This the Mod Podge isn't totally dry, but I think it'll be dry enough. I hope there's enough of this to do this whole thing. I think there might be. Let's see on the brown how that just looks so much like leather. I feel like the Mod Podge, you know how leather's kind of shiny. It does that too, and I think it kind of helps it look more like leather, in my opinion. So I prefer to do the Mod Podge first, and then the stain, but just experiment, just like anything else. I've had a lot of questions about, so Gayle, will this work instead of that, or that kind of stuff. Honestly, you guys, just try it. Just jump in, because, you know, that's how I learned, is just trial and error. And I mean, if I ruin this, I lose an envelope, basically. This was garbage. It was packing. So, okay, so that's looking good. Love that. So we'll just have to do the Mod Podge on this side, but I'm going to let this dry for a little bit. Okie dokie. And let's see what else we can do. How about, just for fun, we do the paper bag. Let's see, this one. Actually, I kind of want to do this one. This is, I think this is wrapping paper. It came on a Etsy share, and so I thought, ooh, that is just about the right size for for a cover. So that's what I did. So that one didn't scrunch well because I don't think I had enough Mod Podge. So I'm going to make sure I have enough on this one. Because if it's too thin, it doesn't stay wet long enough for you to scrunch your papers. You know what I mean? So we're going to make sure this is all goobery with glue. Okay. All right. So now, turn that over like so, and scrunch it. Now I should have wadded up the paper first. I was too excited to get going. That's what I should have done on both of these. That's what I should have done, and I'm sure had I not said that, you guys would have told me that. Don't let me get away with much. That's for sure. Which is good. It's good. I need you to keep me on the straight and narrow. But yeah, we'll do it on the next one, and you'll see the difference on this part. Although I don't mind having some smooth parts either. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and just put these down, and then we'll try another one. I'm excited to have all these kind of at the ready. So I'm thinking, what's after Christmas? And here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking that, first of all, I have a box over there from my move that is, it was from my other table, and it's all like stuff that needs to be finished. And so I'm thinking about that I want to finish some projects. I also think, you know, that I'm gonna use some of the covers that I already have made. Want to do that. And then, yeah, so that's my thought. Those are I want to get some finishing done. I also have a project or two on my project card that needs to be finished. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think 2023 is going to start off anyway, the year of finishing some stuff up. Because, you know, you get too many things going and it's kind of crazy. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. And then these will be good for those projects that come along and I'm like, ooh, I really want to do that. Do I have a cover? And these are kind of neutral enough that they'll work on anything. Okay, there's that one. Super easy way to make a cover this is, though. And of course, these are just like one signature journals that we're going to be putting into these along the way. Okay. That's not too bad. That's going to be just fine. I think this will be the front and I'll cover that kind of, but yeah. So there's that one. We'll let that dry. Put that down there. I'm going to run out of drying spaces here. Okay, now we're going to do it like I should have been doing from the beginning. I'm going to grab this one. And let's see. Let's use this. So this bag, I'm just going to crunch it up first. And then we won't have to do quite as much scrunching. It's been a while since I did this, so I guess I can be forgiven for forgetting that. Okay. Or maybe not, you know. Who am I to say what I should be forgiven for? Oh. Okay. Sloppy. Takes a while to dry too, but that's okay. I also feel like the more I have, the less work it is to spread it out. Just kind of glop it on. Okay. And go that way, and then we're just gonna scrunch it a bit here and there. You still have to scrunch it, but if you have, you know, when you're putting it down, but if you've already done the bit of if you've crunched it into a ball, then it's not as much work to get the wrinkles in there. Okay, let's do this. I think my other one, the very first one, might be dry enough on the side that we've already put the antiquing on, that I can flip it over and do the Mod Podge and let that dry. So, I mean, I've got them in various stages right now, but that's the whole mass making thing. I think I grabbed like, oh, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 envelopes just to do this. But now that I've rearranged my room, my envelopes are right over there. I could grab more if I need. So lovely. So lovely. I'm so glad. So glad I did that. The craft room rearranges on my mind because this day that I'm filming this is the day that the craft room tour went on. So I know a lot of people were waiting for that just to see what I did. I'm so glad I did it. I'm glad Carrie suggested it. My friend Carrie the crafter, he suggested it. And it's just really great. Really great. It's like I can't wait to get down here. I mean, I've always kind of been that way, but it was funny. My doctor said, so how did she say that? She was saying something about, you know, do you lack energy and, you know, stuff like that. Old people stuff. And I'm like, nope. Kind of the Energizer Bunny. I just go and go and go. And she's like, oh, well, that's good. And I'm like, yeah, most of the time. I think my husband sometimes thinks, are you ever going to slow down? And I don't want to. No, I want to slow down. And my mom always used to say, Gayle, just relax. Just put your feet up and relax. And I'm like, you know, I do in the evening, but it's like I got stuff to do. Not too much I want to do. Okay, so there's that one. That's going to be cool, isn't it? That's going to be really cool. Love that. Okay, so this one, we have put that on. We need to put Mod Podge on this side first, don't we? Okay, I don't need as much going this way because I don't want it to do that white thing in the creases, but you kind of can't help it. And so you just got to put it on and then wipe it like I did. I'm trying to get some of it with my paintbrush at the moment, but we'll see. So yeah, get this drying, and then we can anti-cue it. I told that story a long time ago. My daughter and I were at a garage sale here, and I can't even remember now what we were looking at. Maybe it was a rocker or something. I don't know. But the guy who was having the garage sale, he said, "Yes, ma'am, that's a genuine anti-cue." And he wasn't kidding around. It took me a minute. I'm like, antique? And he's like, yeah, it's a genuine antique. So we always joke around if we're gonna go to the antique mall. Should we go to the antique mall? Yeah, that poor guy, he doesn't know that we're still kind of chuckling at how he said antique. Okay. This is where having the plug-in for my dryer would come in handy, but since we've got time, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. So that needs to dry. I'm going to put that one there and this one here. So now I have 5 of them. I have 5 of them done. I gotta move. I have some Etsy things that people have purchased in my Etsy. I don't want to get them full of glue. Okay. This one I'm kind of looking at and going, do I want to put I don't think I want the antique medium on this one. I think I want this one just as it is. So let's go ahead and put the sides down. Then I'm going to have to get some more Mod Podge after this, I think. I'm going through it pretty well. Oh. Yep, genuine antique. Was hilarious. So this one couple that does estate sales here, and they had a warehouse to where like things that didn't sell at a estate sale that they did, they'd take them to this warehouse, and then like about 3 times a year they'd have a big sale on the weekend, at this warehouse. And gosh, I've gotten lots of things. I've gotten rubber stamps there, and all sorts of paper items and stuff. Well, apparently they didn't lose the lease. Apparently they're gonna like tear down that building or something. And so now they're somewhere else out of town that they have rented for it. I haven't been out there, but I told myself with doing my craft room tour, I have to get the things I have for listing on Etsy, and before I can go to an estate sale or garage sale or anything like that. So I haven't been all year because, I just need to, I think I find things and I'm like, oh, I could get that on Etsy. Well, then I have to take pictures and list it and everything. And I don't know if you know how much work an Etsy is until you have one. But I mean, my problem is I'd rather be crafting than working on the computer. So, okay. So that one essentially is done. Isn't that cute? See, won't that be cute? And then we can put something, maybe roses, whatever on that. Okay, so I'm going to stand that one up to dry. If it's pretty well done. Okay, let's revisit this one. So I think I'll put put these in, and then we'll go from there. Well, I had a bit of a scare on the way home from the doctor. I was going up the street towards our house, and there was a huge plume of smoke on the mountain. And I'm like, we made it all the way through the summer. We didn't have a fire, and now there's a fire. And, you know, I always argue with myself, like, I don't want to be one of those people that floods the 911 or whatever. But at the same time, if everybody thinks that, then nobody's calling the authorities, you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, what should I do? So I came home and I said, Mike, there's a big plume of smoke. And he said, well, there should be. They're doing a prescribed burn in the forest. I'm like, oh, he must have seen it in the paper. I missed it. So I was like, oh, phew. Not that those can't get out of control too, but we have quite a bit of snow out there. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. So anyway, that was kind of caused me to pause. We still have our little to-go fire pile by our garage. It's all the tubs that have our family pictures and stuff in them. I got ready just when it became fire season. I'm like, you know, I do not want to take the risk that any of that will be lost. So now you could probably do like some watered down acrylic, do the same thing here. That's what this seems like to me. But just going to use a little bit more here. If I can get some more out. There we go. Yeah, so I was nervous. It's like, nope, should be there. That's because that's what they're doing today. I'm like, okay. That's good. Okay. So there's that side, kind of. Let's see if we want to do... Okay. Then I think I am going to Mod Podge this. Just got a couple of spots where there's more of the red coming through than I want. Just looking for spots. That will have a, I'm not worried about that corner. That will have a Tim Holtz corner on it. Should probably look at my time. Holy moly. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Okay, let's do this. So I hope I've been in camera this whole time. I backed way out because I figured there was nothing intricate that you were going to be looking at. So I just moved out. Ooh, this is going to look really leathery and wonderful. Well, I was a little more ambitious than what I could get done, wasn't I? So I've got a couple more videos to film today. Like I say, just kind of getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday just to get ahead and stuff. And so my hands are going to be full of antiquing stuff for the other videos too, but that's okay. Okay. I hope you can kind of see how that's getting leathery looking. Okay, that's going to go there. Let's see, this one I could get a little of that off of there. Let's use a different color on this one to see how it does. Okay, so that goes with that color. Let's see, do we want espresso or do we want cocoa bean? I think espresso. Let's just go with that. I better shake it a bit. Okay, I'm just gonna, once again, I'm gonna put it in there. This doesn't have a cap, does it? Nope. It's older. I bought it and then I haven't used it. Ooh, it's a little thick, a little bit thick, but that's okay. Oh, gosh. Throwing baby wipes around. Okay. So. Don't want too much on there. I think I did the other one on the other side, but that's okay. Ooh, I like that. I can go over the other side with this too. Subtle, but look at how it's kind of collecting in those creases. And I'm sorry if I'm jiggling the camera. I probably am, but it's just how I have it set up over here. I have the arm of the camera attached to my table here. Ooh, that is going to be cool. I love that. Try not to be too vigorous so that I'm making you seasick. I can see it jiggling is the thing. There's probably a better setup, but you know, sometimes you got to go with what you got. And this is what I got. Oh, guys, I'm really liking that. Let's get a little bit more of that. A little bit more of that espresso. Ugh, that is so thick. But, like I say, I bought it a long time ago when I was making a lot of these, and then I haven't made as many. Been doing other things for covers, and kind of like going in a circle because then you get all sides of the you know, wrinkles. I'm going to want more on that front cover too. Oh yeah, that's really cool. I want more down here. Okay, and I want a bit more up here. Because you're using the baby wipe too, you don't get the brush marks that you would with paint brush. Look at that. I hope that shows well. But, you know, If it's not leather, it sure fools me. Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Okay, this one is looking interesting. It's very splotchy, but I like it. Okay. Let's do, what else do I have here? I just have these two tissues. I'm looking at this one going, I don't like the yellow under that. I think I need to use a white envelope, and I don't have any right now for this. So I'm going to save this until I have a white envelope. But we could do this one real quick. Yeah, we've got a few minutes. Let's just get this one kind of on the go. So I'm squishing up again. First step, squish it. And pull it out. Okay, we're going to put a bunch of Mod Podge on here. This is so cool because I'm going to have all these ready to go. So once we do this one, we'll have 6 covers. That's awesome. I have got in January, end of January, my friend Diane is having a retreat, and I was like, oh, what am I going to make some more journal kits? What am I going to do? And then I thought, you know what I'm going to do is I am going to do some forgotten projects. And I'm also going to take my, look at that. Look how textural that is. I'm also going to take my slow stitch because I just haven't had time to do it at home. I think I might take it at Thanksgiving to my daughters too, because that's something I can do in the living room while we're just sitting there visiting too. So I think I might do that as well. But so did I tell you we're bringing Alfie home after Thanksgiving? Because my daughter's going to go somewhere, and her family are going somewhere. So Alfie's coming to stay with us. Oops, I forgot to do that. Better do that. Yeah, so that'll be fun to have our little boy. I don't see him all day anyway because he doesn't come down here. I don't know what it is with our basement and dogs, but they don't like it down here. I don't know if it's, you know, like smells from what I do, like the Mod Podge smell, or if it's just that it's closed in and doesn't have the windows. I'm not sure, but dogs generally don't like it down here. So they don't come down much when I'm working, which is probably a good thing. I don't need dog hairs in my Mod Podge. Oh, guys, I'm so tickled to have all these done. This is good stuff. Anyway, I hope that helped on the whole. If I can find my first video that I did on the leather, the faux leather, I will link it below. You might get a laugh out of it because it was one of my first videos, so it's probably just horrible. Not that I've gotten much better, but you know, yeah, it was the first, one of the first ones I did. My first one on the, oh gosh, what was it called? I can't think of what it was called, the one journal. I'm coming up with all sorts of words in my head. I will let you know, though, when the doctor asked me 3 words and then later asked me again, I remembered what they were, so I think I'm okay that way. Now the question becomes on this one, do I want to do the antiquing thing at all? I don't know. I think I might let it dry and see. Because that's always an option too, have it dry and see. And then I'm going to go up and get my power strip before I forget again. So there's going to be that. I kind of like it the way it is, to be honest. So I might just go ahead and put, so let's Mod Podge this side, might as well. And then I might Mod Podge the other side and just leave it like this. I kind of like this. It's sort of a, with the yellow, or what I guess you call it, gold envelope underneath. It's kind of sepia looking. So I kind of like that. Dragonflies, Carrie. There they are. They're like bunnies to me, the spirit animal. Okay, cool. Well, we got some stuff done, guys. I'm feeling real happy about that. So I can leave these over here to dry whilst I work on my Christmas journals over there. Okay, so just to recap, we used a bag, scrunched up bag. We used some packing paper, and this one is done. It's just drying. We used some painter's masking paper. Got a little drip of Mod Podge right there. We used some of this wrapping paper, which that'll be interesting when that's done. And then we used this tissue paper, and we're not even going to antique it or anything. We're just going to leave it. So there you have it. That's kind of the faux leather technique. I hope you guys enjoyed this and give it a try. It's super easy and fun, and the results are awesome. So have a grateful day, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.